Camera bags is something that we all need, and this is the Lowepro Tactic 450 AW Mark 1, and I have been using this every single day for the last 2.5 years, and it has been one of the best bags overall that I've used ever. But now it has finally come to an end because you can't actually close the zipper on it anymore. It's just going up, and apparently you can't even open it anymore. So here we go. Maybe. I mean, it's been a great companion, but it's definitely worn out, and I want to make sure that my camera bag holds up for the tasks that I'm gonna put it through. So as you saw in my previous video, I actually went on and bought a new camera bag, which is the Lowepro Tactic Freeline 350 that I thought we should talk about in this video. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I paid for this bag all by myself, and there is a couple of things that I really like about it, and there is a couple of things that I think could have been better with the bag. So the main reason that I bought this camera bag is because I wanted to have like a more portable camera bag that I don't have to like cram all my stuff into, because it's getting a little bit too heavy on the back. And this was actually a perfect fit because it looks more like a regular backpack, and it also like makes me like really consider what kind of gear that I have to have in my camera bag. One of the things that you can't do with this bag is open it from the back and have this like compartment where you get access to all your gear from the back, but it does have these side compartments which allows you to like access your gear really quickly instead of having to put the camera bag down on the ground and then like open the back like I do all the time. And I know that 450 does have the same like side compartments, but with the setup that I had in my bag, it wasn't simply possible to open the sides and grab the camera because there was too many like of these Velcro walls in between. Since you're not able to like open up the back of the camera bag, you have this like insertion. And this basically allows you to set up the different compartments just as you want it to be, to make sure that it fits your camera gear that you want to have in the backpack. So this is something that I think is really cool, but personally I do like having the option to actually open the camera bag from the back. But I totally get why they did like this, because this feels like a more sleek camera bag that's gonna be more like a city bag rather than like a hiking bag. One thing that looks really good on this camera bag is the straps and the like hooks that are made out of metal. But one of the downsides with them is that they are not that good at like keeping the force when you like drag it tight. So for example, the sternum strap, it's gonna come loose really fast, and it's not gonna give you any kind of support when you have it like attached. And that for me is a huge downside if you want to have the bag with you for a longer period of time, because then it's really good to have like sternum strap to get a little bit of relief in the back. You have two pockets on the outside here where you can put like a water bottle or a gorilla pod or something like that. And again, we have the same kind of like metal straps which are looking really cool, but they are not practical at all because they can't really hold the tension off the things. It's like they can come loose really quickly, and that is something that I think could have been done better, because if you have a lot of stuff with you, then I want to make sure that it sits tight and snug to my camera bag and don't flop around because this strap actually got loose. When you open up the side compartments, there's also a pocket on the actual like lid, or what you call it, with a small pocket and some SD card holders so that you can put like your SD card wallets, your filters, or whatever kind of stuff that you have. But when you're using this pocket, you also got to consider what you're actually putting in here, because if you put filters and then you put like a tripod in this pocket, the outer pocket, then there's going to be a risk that the filter is actually going to get crushed by your like gorilla pod or whatever you put in here. You also get this small organizer with the bag, which basically can contain a couple of things. I personally have my extra batteries here and the charger, and then I have my SSD drives and some USB cables as well. And I really like to have something like this in my camera bag to feel more organized, and it looks better when there's not a lot of like loose cables in the other compartments. So huge thumbs up for that one. This is also something that I really like, that it has handles on the side so you can carry the bag like this or like this. It totally depends on how you want to carry your bag, but having this option is something that is really important for me when it comes to like buying a new camera bag, is that it can hold my 15-inch laptop, and that is exactly what this can do in this compartment right here. And it also has a smaller compartment for an iPad, but I don't think you can have them in there at the same time because it's gonna be really tight with space. So I would probably only use one device in that like compartment if I'm gonna be like out and about with the bag for a while. And it also has this small like smartphone pocket that you can like put your smartphone down, and then you're gonna have like easy access to your smartphone when you're out on a walk, which is good because that is something that you might want to pick up and grab a snapshot of what you're seeing. The top compartment of the bag is actually pretty good, and I do think it fits like most of my things that I want to have in a camera bag, such as the headphones, my computer charger, my mouse, my shotgun mic, and also the rocket blower. So it's actually a little bit bigger than I thought it would be, but when you cram this compartment full of things, then it's gonna be really hard for you to use this compartment unless you're like putting SD cards or SSD drives or something like that in here, which might be a plausible thing. But when it comes to the quality of the bag, I do think it feels good, but I have noticed that there's some small seams that has started to come loose after just weeks of use. And I don't know if it's just this bag or if it's a design flaw, but seams coming loose, not good. So the main reason that I bought this camera bag is because I wanted to have like a smaller camera bag that I could use for my everyday stuff and not having to like pack all my gear into one single camera bag, because I do think that the 450 was a little bit too big for everyday things, but this, however, is a perfect size. So my final verdict for this bag is that the design is a 10 out of 10. I really like it. When it comes to functionality, I would say that it's probably like a 6 or 7 out of 10, because these straps are really dragging it down a whole lot, and I wish it had like a back compartment that you could open up. And as for the comfort, I do think it feels really good to have on your back, and I would say that it's probably like an 8 out of 10, and overall score is 7 out of 10. It's a really good bag. Couple of things that could have made it even better, but yeah, I like it. I would love to know, what do you think about the camera bag, and what camera bag do you have? Do drop a comment below, and if you haven't subscribed, that'd be highly appreciated. If you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up, because that would be awesome. So thanks so much for that. And I guess we'll say like this: Peter from Sweden out.